Okay.
What's up, y'all?
Yo, welcome back. The Nichols.
The Nichols.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in every single video, honestly. It would be pointless to make these videos if you guys weren't watching, so we thank you for that. And if you haven't already, if this is your first time on our page, we welcome you to our family. Please subscribe to be updated with all types of videos that we're trying to, put out. Without further ado, we want to get straight into the video.
Yeah, so we basically wanted to do a follow-up of our How We Met video.
Yeah.
We had a cute little story of how we met and how we came about actually dating each other.
Yeah. Kept it a
cute,
little
right?
brief,
Yeah, we had to trim it down a bit, but it was all good.
Absolutely.
Got us here. But we did want to dive into a little bit more of our dating life.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, so that you just know a little bit more about us as a couple, and then just other stuff that will hopefully help you if you're in a relationship or thinking about being in a relationship.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
For some, it may be new. Like for me,
Yeah.
she was my first girlfriend, like official girlfriend. So there was a lot of fears. Just how I moved about it in the beginning was kind of shaky, and it's all a learning experience. I've learned that some failures are like the best. Like they position you better when you fail because then you get a chance to learn and to improve. So that was a lot of our dating. Was a lot of hits, a lot of misses, but those misses helped to set us up. So yeah.
Absolutely. So we, as you guys know from our last video, if you haven't watched our How We Met video, stop this, go back,
Rewind.
watch it, and then come back.
Cool.
But we were basically best friends before we started dating, and losing that friendship was a main aspect of the fear going into this.
Yeah.
We knew we had feelings for each other, and we were circling around each other for like a year and a half, liking each other, going on dates, flirting, trying to hide it from our family and friends for like a year and a half before actually stepping wholeheartedly into a full-on relationship.
And it was scary ground. I always think of it as like merging lanes, going at 100 miles an hour, and there's cars going beside you. You don't know when to switch over, and that's what it was. It was just, us being friends, us knowing we had feelings and that we were going to change, but it was the fear of switching over. Like, are we doing this too quickly? Are we, if we move too slow, whatever the case may be. So it was a lot of just being held back by fear and just like the doubt of like, oh, this is gonna change us. We're not gonna like each other after this, and versus just going into it, green and just knowing that we're gonna be good.
And before me knowing that that would actually lay great foundation for us, because it proved to each other that we were very, very fearful of God in the healthy way. We were really scared of moving ahead of God or doing something that was not approved by Him. Fear of God in that sense. And before me realizing that it was actually a good thing, I looked at it as a bad thing, and it kind of carried on into our relationship. So I looked at it as why doesn't he want me? It's taking him a year and a half to ask me. And at the time, I was just like, yo, what am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? Am I not this is the first time I'm pouring my heart out to somebody after a huge heartbreak in my first relationship. So I'm just like, if this is what it's like to tell somebody that I like them, no thanks. That's how I viewed it and carried it into our relationship.
Yeah.
And feeling like at certain moments, I wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and it absolutely wasn't the case. It was more of a fear of disappointment. God first. It was like, okay, God, is this what you want? And what's crazy about that is sometimes when you're in the will of God, there's always going to be opposition that tells you the wrong thing, or something whispering in your ear like, no, you're doing the wrong thing, or no, are you sure this is God, or whatever the case may be. In that space, while having my feelings and knowing yo, this is the person I want to be with, there was that whispering voice like, no, you're making the wrong mistake, you're moving too fast. And it wasn't until I just completely submitted, one, not only to God, but what He was telling me through our relationship was when we started to get peace and clarity.
So that was kind of like the intro to our relationship, right? It's kind of weird. It wasn't lovey-dovey. I feel like our lovey-dovey phase was during that year and a half of circling each other, and like feelings were fresh and like stars in our eyes and staring at each other. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Like that was all during that year and a half. Once we jumped into the relationship, it was just like, all right, that honeymoon phase.
We opened it. Once that lovey-dovey phase faded, and it faded very quickly, due to just frustration, like we should have been here last year, and it had me put up a wall emotionally, mentally in the beginning of our relationship, which is not a great way you want to start a relationship. You want to be open, you want to be honest, and even in that time, I was just making a lot of mistakes, shifting from being single into being in a relationship. With knowing her past and the issues with her past relationships or whatever the case may be, I was just making a lot of dumb decisions.
I really only had one serious relationship before him, and basically he cheated, and it was like back and forth and then heartbreak. That insecurity I carried into our relationship, and it really wasn't, it's weird, like it really wasn't me not trusting him, it was me knowing the Kadeem that didn't realize he was flirting and what girls can do with it. It could be like letting a girl sit on his lap, and I'm just like, babe, that's flirting, like you don't do that. And I would feel away at first, and I'd be like, he doesn't know. Like it would be like a balance of like, okay, this is his first relationship, and plus I'm insecure. So it was like a mash of like, Gabrielle, you gotta get over it. With like little things, and then like with big things, I was just like, I needed to show grace. Like, okay, yeah, I want to punch him in the face, but at the same time, this is his first relationship, so maybe he doesn't know that doesn't work in the context of a relationship. And
then there would be like just moments of just again sheer stupidity where even before, and this is pre us making it official, just entertaining other females and different stuff that like where you're aware of it, but you're like you become numb to a way of living before you change your life. That like again, just stupid decisions that I made that contributed to her lack of trust or her insecurity. I was just feeding into it versus building her up and giving her a reason to trust and stuff like that. So again, it was learning and recognizing that I needed to be better, not just for her sake, but for my sake, learning how to be a man of integrity and honor, and to allow her to see that because of her poor examples in the past.
Yeah, and then on my side, it was me learning to trust him and me learning to fully understand and embrace his innocent sentiment toward it.
One of the biggest things that I had to learn in that moment was that I wasn't her savior. Like I was not designed to be her savior. I was designed to be an example. Just an example. Imitating God in my character and the way I walk and talk and treat her. Because the savior complex can get very dangerous when you come in to swoop someone in and say, listen, I'm here to save you, I'm here to make sure that you're alright. Because when you fail or when you fall, that person, or in the context, she'll look at me different. Like, oh, every person that comes to save me or every person I put my trust in fails. Like,
it was that's sorry to cut you off, but that's really important in relationships. That savior complex, your partner is not your savior. Like, he's not here to rescue me. I'm not here to save him. Like, Jesus holds that spot in both of our lives. So it's like, that was a good point. Like, the savior complex is something that I see very often, especially when one of the people have been truly like badly hurt in the past, and then they start viewing the other person that they're in a relationship with now as a savior. Like, oh my God, I love you so much. When it's just like.
So another point within our dating, I guess, season was learning how to spend quality time. In my singleness, again, being a musician, being a producer, songwriter, I lived music. And when I say live music, it was wake up, create, may eat, may use the bathroom, might not shower, create. I mean, I'm just being honest. But stepping into the relationship, I literally had to change a lot of those habits. And that was another battle that I had. Like, I want to be great. I want to be good. I need to spend this time. But you're in a relationship with somebody. You need to spend quality time. You need to share your life with them. So it was me having to learn how to maneuver my career or my desires for success while making sure that the needs of my spouse was met as well. And more so switching the roles. Music or my career is important, but if I am to be the head or the future head over a household or in a relationship, I need to switch the priority, not making music less important, but recognizing that she holds more weight because she's the other half. She's my other half, and that's how I was viewing it at the time, because I didn't want to just jump into a relationship and it not go anywhere. That was one of the real reasons why it took so long, because it was like, okay, God, like, is this the one? Because I do not want to waste time just dating someone that it's not going to work. I don't like wasting time. I need to make sure. So once we got that clarity, I realized that if this is the person that you deem to spend your entire life with, then you have to start managing that time well to ensure that she gets the care that she wants, while she not wants, but the care that she deserves, while still making sure that you cater to the gift and the talent and the ability. And it was very rough in the beginning.
And on my side of it, it was me understanding that he is a musician and that he will need his time to do his music. So it was on both ends, like a learning the balance. And with me, really brand new in a relationship that I had time on my hands. You know, like my first relationship was like high school sweetheart. You know, it was like still had school, still had like my mom like tell me what to do. Now it's like we started dating. I was 20, 21, I think. It was just a different context and learning as a young adult being in a relationship, wanting to just spend all the time with him, wanting to go grocery shopping with him, wanting to go pick out socks with him. I'm just like, he needs time to do his art. Me being an artist and understanding the time needed to perfect your craft and the time needed to express yourself through your preferred art. You know, understanding that.
And at first, literally, I can only be honest, I used to get so frustrated, like, why does she always want to spend this time like that? Like, I got work, she knows I got work to do. And God really had to, like, set me down, like, yo, this is a person who cares about you. This is a person that wants to spend time with you. And I had to stop looking at it from a negative lens and look at it from a positive, like, yo, she cares enough to want to spend time, to learn you, to be around you, and not to so much destroy your dreams. Because if this is the person that you're designed to be with, they're going to push you to be great. They're going to push you and elevate you. So I'm not going to lie, there were a lot of arguments that were spun because of that perception, versus looking at it from, yo, she cares, she loves, she wants to spend time.
That was also something we had to get past, like really knocking down perceptions that we had before we entered the relationship. Like, that really was just like not rose-colored glasses, but like negative colored glasses. That we looked at things through these weird perceptions, just like, yo, why am I automatically viewing it in this perspective and having to sit, try to find the root of it, and then work on that root of why, whether it was because of past relationship, whether it was because of, you know, family relationship, whether it was because of some friend did this to me in the past, so now I only view it as, you know, like having to move past those already established perceptions we had, realizing, like, him thinking, I want to spend time with him because I'm bored and got nothing to do, versus loving and caring for him, or me thinking he wants to go do music to get away from me versus that's just what he loves to do. You know, like just different perceptions we really had to destroy to be able to see clearly and to move accordingly.
So I know it was very intense within the first year, but again, this is a relationship is it's intense and learning and it's hard work. But we had a lot of fun in the process. Like when I tell you, we went out a lot. We experienced New York.
I made sure he understood my love affair with music.
Absolutely.
He would just like work with music.
Yeah,
I'm just like, we live in New York City. Like, what are you doing? Let's go.
She honestly helped me get out of that studio rat mind. I was very close to the world outside of music. We had a lot of fun.
We did a lot of like ice skating during the winter time. We had our Christmas tradition of going to see the tree lighting.
Yes, in Rockefeller.
We try out new restaurants all the time. We go bowling. Go see Broadway plays. Yeah. We actually got caught in a snowstorm.
Wow, while in the city.
Why were we in the city though?
You were bored. She was bored. She gets bored often. So when she gets bored, she's like, "Hey, babe, let's do this." It was like,
let's just like pick up part of the city and walk around. Like we just be like, all right, this time we're gonna do Alphabet City.
We went to Alphabet City.
And we'll just walk around. Okay, this time we're gonna go to like Museum Row and just like do the Met and stuff like that. We did road trips. We did a road trip from New York down to Florida and then back up to New York. Yeah,
but we made sure in our dating life to not not be boring. I think that was one of the key things. Is like, if we're gonna spend life, like, let's start it with making sure that we have the most fun. One, we're young. Sometimes you see Christian couples and to the outside world they look stiff, they look rigid and boring, and that was the last thing that we ever wanted. When people saw us, we did not want them to see us as...
not only for the perceptions of others, but just keeping it fun between the two of us. Like, we're both fools. Like, we're both, like, just weirdos who find joy in getting a line from coloring book and coloring for hours.
That actually happened.
We did stuff like that, or like sitting and getting like classic video games and just sitting
and playing Pac-Man
and playing bad like old video games, like just having fun. Like, listen, you better be fun if I'm
again, I'm not spending life with a stiff, and she's far from being a stiff. You're not stiff.
You're stiff though.
I'm not stiff. I'm not stiff. I'm tired.
You're not getting what I'm saying.
Oh!
God, he's so slow.
Yo, you're dirty. I'm gonna just keep it 100. Being in a dating relationship, you have to keep yourself busy, because if you don't, your mind can definitely take you left.
And that was one of the main reasons why we had to keep ourselves busy, was fighting lust.
Fighting lust is a crazy thing.
We'll go into like steps of how we
That's a whole video.
A whole other video.
Yeah.
But we have to mention it. Like, fighting lust was a huge part of, all right, let's get out the house. All right, let's go out during the day. All right, let's not just sit and watch movies.
Yeah,
like, let's invite this friend over so that we don't do nothing stupid in front. You know.
But we kept ourselves busy so that we could prevent, the slip up or the "ooh, I'm sorry," or we didn't want to have to deal with that. So as you guys may know, we have completely huge families, and one of the most important aspects of our relationship was making sure that our families were, involved. We definitely made sure to bring, each other around our families, just so that our families, one, can grow comfortable. I wanted to make sure that she was comfortable with my family, because again, the whole point of being in a relationship is to grow and to eventually get to marriage. And the last thing you want is for your family to hate who you marry.
Yeah, and same thing for me. I wanted to be sure that, my family liked him. He's a weirdo, like he's one of a kind. So he's not like just every regular dude. But no, seriously, I would make sure to bring him to my family parties. cousins, making sure like he blended in well, or he was able to hold conversation with them, and how is he gonna react when everybody at the family party is like half drunk and acting stupid? Like, is he going to just stand in the corner? Is he gonna have fun with us? Like, just like seeing him in different aspects, or bringing him to an intimate dinner with my mom and my grandmother, or seeing my niece play with him, like made my heart like. My niece falling in love with him was just like, okay, yeah, I need to marry this kid. Like little things like that, I was just like, okay.
And there were a lot of key moments that kind of like, I know for sure, there were moments where it's like, oh, okay, and this is going to work. And on my end, it was the same thing. It was a little different because my family kind of knew you before we started dating. It was just having to relearn her in a relationship. And then the switch.
I feel like the switch was harder though. Gabby, the friend, now she's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like, I feel like that was harder.
And and introducing her as a girlfriend wasn't hard, but it was definitely just new. It was just like new space, new territory.
Yeah.
The more, she came around as my girlfriend, the more comfortable. We even gone on vacations, so that helped. I had to learn a little later, I think I learned this later, that if God designed this to happen, or he orchestrated this to happen, whether they like her or not, it's gonna happen. It does help when your family agrees with what God has put a stamp on.
Yeah. Last but not least, actually last but very first,
and most important,
is our spiritual foundation.
Yeah.
We, as you know, we fasted and prayed a lot before jumping into this relationship, and making sure that Christ was the center of everything we did was so important to us. Like, everything to us.
It was the foundation, and it had to be, because again, the feeling of uncertainty was very scary for me. So I wanted to make sure that I was hearing God correctly, moving according to his will, and not just like emotionally or flesh-based or whatever, like however you want to put it. Because honestly, when you're not walking in the will of God, and you're dealing with someone else, their lives, could hang in the balance. You could potentially destroy someone, not walking in alignment. And I made sure that, I was, on point, and I know for a fact that she did the same thing. So the Christ foundation was very important in a relationship, before and after.
Yeah, and I think it was the foundation of our friendship.
Yeah.
The reason why we clicked so well as best friends, became so compatible as friends before anything, was because we both loved God so much. Like, that was, even as best friends, like, yo, what was your devotion about today? Oh, I have a word of encouragement for you. Oh, God told me to tell you this. Like, it was the foundation of our friendship. So going into our relationship, it just made us all the more stronger. And like we did, between the two of us, weekly devotions.
Yeah.
Whether it was books, whether it was just on our own, whether it was, I read this verse in my personal time, I want to share it with you.
Yeah.
Weekly we did that. We went to services together.
Tuesday
went to Tuesday nights. We went to separate churches. Our home churches were different, which was weird for us also. So what we did, we found a young adult service at either of our churches. It was a completely different young adult ministry that we came to love. And we did that separately from our churches.
Yeah, it helped to build a community of not only young adult believers, but we found other couples that were in that process or in that season where we weren't by ourselves growing as young believers who are dating.
Yeah, just always making sure we were spiritually checking each other.
Yeah.
It was just the foundation of everything, and it still is the foundation of everything. It's our consciousness, conviction. It's why we choose certain things. It's our love for Christ. It's everything.
And honestly, I think had we not planted those seeds in the beginning, we wouldn't be married today.
Yeah.
I think we would have moved in fear and anxiety. We probably wouldn't have dated had we not took the time individually to just like, you know what, let me know who God is for myself before getting into a relationship.
Absolutely. That being the thread in everything we do in Christ is, what would Jesus do? Like, I know it's such a cliche thing, what would Jesus do?
No, but
it's real. Everything we did, everywhere we went, friends that we made, activities that we did, it was kind of like a, God, green light or red light. God, this is cool. Like, does this align with His word? Will this disappoint Him?
Mm-hmm.
Will this pull us away from God? Will this distract us from God? It was just the thread in everything we did, and we're not like over exaggerating.
Yeah.
Like real life, we're talking.
Yeah, and even in conflict resolution, that when we argued, because we did argue, it wasn't like everything's real. It wasn't like just peaches and cream, and that's actually a terrible reference. Peaches and cream, yeah.
It was not peaches and cream while we were dating.
Everything wasn't, it wasn't golden and rainbows and whatever the case may be. Like, there were intense moments, and having to go, the God route.
All those things we were talking about before, like, if it wasn't for God,
Yeah.
So that's a glimpse of our dating life. That was the dating Nichols. That was us before Trinity. That was us before we got engaged. It was just little tidbits of things that we had to get through as a godly couple, as a couple who's young. We're still trying to figure out who we are now as husband and wife. But yeah, just like a little peek into us as a dating couple, and we'll go further into certain topics. If you have any specific topics of godly dating that you would like for us to, expand on, comment below, let us know. Those are just the main points of the Kadeem and Gabby.
Yeah, and if you are dating now, and you're a godly couple, like, and you want advice or whatever the case may be, like, comment. We would love to hear your story, your journeys. If you have questions, like, we want to engage. We don't just want to, talk into the camera or whatever the case may be. We want to help. We want to help you in any way, shape, or form, because, again, we made a lot of mistakes. You've heard a lot, but in between each point, we made a lot of mistakes, and we don't want you to go through those same mistakes. So if you like this video, we want you to, again, like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. We thank you guys for sitting and listening and sharing with us, and we hope you like it, and we hope you love it. We hope that this has encouraged you to push forward and to continue to grow.